ready to start now with the next portion of Big Ed's retirement luncheon. And at this time, it's my pleasure to read Tech Sergeant Plant's biography and some of the accomplishments he's attained during his military career. Tech Sergeant Plant was born in Washington, Pennsylvania in 1958. He attended and was graduated from Trinity High School in Pennsylvania, class of 76. 2 years after graduating from high school, Ed decided to join the Air Force. He went to basic training at Lackland Air Force Base, Texas in April 1978. After completion of basic training, he attended Aircraft Maintenance Technical School at Shepherd Air Force Base, Texas. Upon completion of his tech school, he went to his first and his only Air Force assignment here at lovely McGuire Squadron, where he worked in the 141 ISO dock. A year later, in 1979, he was transferred to the refurbishment section, where he worked every facet of C-141 refurb. In November of that year, he met his future wife, Helen. One of the few really good things Ed did while he was assigned here. To February 1980, Ed split his time between bench stock and Alpha 14 stand collar duties. In October of 1980, he volunteered to work on a flight line as a crew chief for Sea Flight, and apparently it was during the time he was hauling stands, he must have fallen down and decided to volunteer for the flight line to be a crew chief. In March of 1984, and in 1985, it says here that he finally married the former Helen Day. I think that was probably the other way around. An expediter, and 1 year later became a swing shift supervisor while maintaining his expediter responsibilities. Between 1989 and 1994, he worked in job control, now of course called the MAC. In August '93, while assigned to job control, he was promoted to technical sergeant. In May 1994, he transferred to the 305th Logistics Support Squadron, where he became the NCOIC of the GO81 Maintenance Automated System until the present. Job control, as almost half of this audience did, I think, at one time or another. And one thing I can say about Ed is anytime I needed something done, Ed would always make sure it got done for me. He was very tenacious about making sure that anything I asked him to do was accomplished. A lot of people on the other end of that phone or radio didn't particularly appreciate Ed's zeal at times. But I always did, because he got the job done. If I needed something done, I always got with Ed and he made sure it happened. What I have here, it isn't much as far as what it actually is. It's just a small wooden box, but it's made out of what's known as burl wood. I ordered this from Oregon. And burl wood, I don't know how many of you can see this, but it has a very rough edge on the outside of it. And it's a very fine wood, however. It has a lot of good strength to it. It's very durable. Anything you want it to do, make a cane out of it, make some furniture out of it. It's a very outstanding wood. And the reason why I chose this to give to Ed, because kind of like this wood, it's a little rough on the edges sometimes. But Ed's very durable. You need something done, as I said, he'll make sure it happens for you. And I just thought this would be a good representation of that for Ed, and just to say thank you for all the good work you always did when we worked together.
Good evening. Good afternoon. We, in the analysis shop, LGLOA, when I first started working there, I was kind of overjoyed to finally to meet the Big Ed. I'd already previously known him when I was working in the AGS as with his BBS, and in a personal area of my life, I knew who he was already. So it was kind of nice to begin working with somebody that you already knew and knew how to react to. What I didn't know already was that I was going to be working with somebody that was not just a counterpart as far as the things that I do, as far as computers and networks and stuff like that. Somebody was going to teach me how to be able to survive in the environment that I was basically walking into blind. So lately we decided we were going to see exactly what kind of computer knowledge our plants had while he, had what he had accumulated through his entire Air Force career and what he was using on the day job throughout his analysis duties there with G81. So we installed a small little program to track everything he did on his computer, every key type and when he turned it on and off and when he logged into LAN and stuff like that. And we found something very exciting and very interesting, that in the computer there was basically a few keys he used. And I know a lot of people can't see it from far back, but basically you have the escape key, you have his name, Tech Sergeant Big Ed Plants, and Control-Alt-Delete, and that's it. In closing for the analysis shop, everybody's going to miss you. I mean, not just from computer expertise, because it is true. When you need something done, the Big Ed Plants, he'll make sure that no matter how or who he has to talk to, we'll work it out somehow. He always does this. So, come on over here, let's talk, let's work it out. But also from a leadership perspective, because he did bring a lot of real world, hey, pull back the reins, come on over here. Let's look at a different way to try to get the same thing done, but not step on some toes, or maybe get something a little bit better done for these people over here. They're really trying hard. And that's the kind of stuff that I think everybody in analysis is really going to miss. Somebody that if you need them to be there, is going to be on your team. Thank you very much.
Well, like many of the other analysis folks, I've only had the opportunity to know Ed as a computer guy and not as a maintainer. But Ed has always been a maintainer at heart, as evidenced by the fact that he still has yet to get a real computer. But being as some of us were ex-maintainers ourselves, we understand the pride and we appreciate Ed's pride in his maintenance background as well. We wanted to make sure that that was acknowledged today. We wanted to make sure he got his maintainer's trophy.
And now we can have the Chief of Analysis, Ms. Linda Pazowski.
Eddie, I don't usually do this. I usually just speak freely or ad-lib, but I prepared a little something because I don't want to leave anything out of some of your accomplishments. Tech Sergeant Eddie Plants came to analysis in May of 1994. His assignment was to supervise the GO81 management section, and he had about 2 weeks training in GO81 from the expert Steve Mitchell. Then he had to figure out basically everything else by himself, and he did it. He brought 35 KC-10s and 500 support personnel from Barksdale online into GO81. He had to establish connectivity to the 3B2 mini mainframes and spent hundreds of hours wiring up buildings. He arranged for and set up a training center in Tier 2 of Big Beige for KC-10 maintenance personnel to learn GO81. He modified over 200 VERPs and coordinated 400 program changes with AMC and Tinker. In 1995, the land shop was assigned to analysis, and Tech Sergeant Plants volunteered to supervise this operation. He wrote numerous awards for these folks and ensured their EPRs on these people and his GO81 folks were of the highest quality. During this period, he also assisted me with teaching the analysis block of the Air Mobility Warfare Center, Aircraft Maintenance Procedures course, answering technical GO81 questions from the students. In 1996, realizing that the AMC policy of phasing out crew chiefs to manage GO81 would take place, he stepped up a training program for our analysis troops. I'm almost done, Ed. In 1997, he continued to train assigned personnel on GO81 processes. There is no formal training for GO81 to date, and he met the challenge by devising continuity books and developing comprehensive tasks in the Air Force Form 797s as a part of each trainee's OJT record. He He ensured they were task certified before he retired. In the near 4 years of his assignment to analysis, his GO81 section completed over 8,331 work orders with a customer satisfaction rate of 98.5%, and his land shop completed over 5,822 work orders with a customer satisfaction rate of 98.7%. Tech Sergeant Plants will surely be missed, and we wish him and Helen the best in future endeavors. I would like to personally thank Helen for her support and goodwill to our shop. She bakes delicious desserts, and Eddie says he helps her, and we've had the pleasure of sampling many. Finally, I just want to say that I am confident that the GO81 managers that you leave behind will do just fine, thanks to your training efforts and their determination to fill your shoes. Thanks for everything, Eddie, and we had a couple things here. First, I call this the Eddie Bear. You're going to still help her, right? Delicious desserts? Desserts to die for? And then this is something for you to remember. It says Tech Sergeant Edwin R. Plant's Analysis Memories from 23 May 1994 to 30 April 1998. And it's just an assortment of photos throughout the years. I hope you like that and sign it on the back.
Next, I'd like to have Mr. King Counts, the Chief of Aircraft Maintenance Plans and Scheduling, please.
Chuck alluded to before, most of us are here because we worked with Ed one time or another. So on the flight line in July of '78, I was still on the flight line too. So been here a lot of years, but I'm still here and Ed's leaving. Ed and I interacted a lot with through job control when he was over there, and also when he moved on to the analysis section in the GO81 section down there, doing a lot of things. And Ed used to tell me, he says, Mr. Counts, he says, you keep putting in these 529s. He says, Paul and I will both be retired before you see any of them fixed. And guess what?
I didn't lie to you.
We still have a few 529s out there. For you folks that do not know what that is, it's if you want to change to the GO81 system, the 141 tracking system, you have to put a form in 529 to get a change. And we have quite a few out there still waiting. We needed to come up and just to thank you, Ed, for all your support of GO81. We've moved around the base a number of times. We moved over into the old building that was condemned across the street. You had to come and rewire us. And then we moved back into the new ops building, and you had to rewire us. But you and Paul let me down on one issue. When you were up in the ceiling running those GO81 wires in there, you were supposed to connect the cable TV up to my room. You guys didn't do that. That part's still out there. But on behalf of the Plans and Scheduling section, for all your support that you've given us throughout the years, friendship that you've given us throughout the years, we picked you up a little diary. Actually, it's just a little logbook here that by day you can figure out what you want to do and what you want to do next. It has a world map in here. It has all the codes in here for telephone calling. But Mr. Thompson and Sergeant Petrowski was talking this morning. There was an item missing out of here. There wasn't a page in here for Helen, so we do have a page in here for you, Helen. It's the honey-do list, and we're going to add that to your book in your retirement. So congratulations, Ed.
Well, I don't think people know how hard it is to retire somebody who's been around for 20 years. Had TMO call, finances called. You know, you got to explain things like, you know, what you get when you move, how to do a pre-move survey. You know, you got to go in and set that up ahead of time. All those kind of things. TLF, he's never lived in before, so he doesn't know those things are available to him. He's not used to moving around with one assignment under his belt. But he's been here for a long time. He's done a lot of good things for McGuire. You've heard a lot about the GO81 recently. Most people don't maybe know that I was over at the Warfare Center before coming over here, and I see Sergeant Cologne sitting out there. I heard his name mentioned before I even was aware I was coming over to McGuire. They mentioned Sergeant Bassett over there when he's putting together packages for the classes. GO81 is a main part of what we do, as you know, in AMC, and we've got to teach that and teach it right. And he would use Sergeant Plants as sort of his source documentation and really the final say in how that is supposed to work. There are numerous occasions that I'm aware of that he called over to get stuff from you, and I don't know if you're aware how much that does go in teaching the command how to do their job and do it right. You've heard his bio. I don't want to really necessarily go through all that again. You know he's done a lot of things, again, in the aircraft maintenance area, both on the flight line, producing it where it's supposed to be. He's moved in the command and control area in the MAC, or the old job control, and then now into the more maintenance management in the GO81, and done that and done it well. Looking around the audience, you can tell that when you go to retirements, there normally are not that many people that go for someone, especially in a smaller section that analysis is, but you can see in here it's a very diverse group. It touches the lives of a lot of people. That system, again, is the life's blood of what we do. It manages everything within the maintenance community. So with that said, I know that you're leaving, and we will have some shoes to fill there. Hopefully Mrs. Bazauskas has got that figured out well in hand, so I can continue to survive well and not have to worry about that program. It's very rare we do get any type of any kind of comment at all on GO81 other than some of the land drops and things like Mr. Counts mentioned. He's looking for a lot of stuff he might not always get. But on behalf of the squadron, I'd like to present a gift to you, but also thank you for your service. 20 years to any particular company, if you want to call it that, is not an easy thing to do. Doing it in the United States military is definitely not easy. There are a lot of demands on the family. There's a lot of demands on the individual. And while he may not have PCSed as much as some of the others have, it's still something you're always on the hook to do. As we know now with things going on over in Iraq, you never know when you may be called to go somewhere. So standing up, holding up your hand and saying, I'll sort of pledge your allegiance, so to speak, it says a whole lot more than when you're working for JCPenney. So with all that said, congratulations on your retirement. I know you want to go out and live in the countryside. Helen, I hope you guys enjoy the retirement and continue to do good things for the community. And with that, whoops. Need some more super glue. On behalf of the squadron, here's the shadow box. And I'm going to read down there. Now it's moving around a little bit. Tech Sergeant Edwin R. Plants, to a grateful nation, salutes your devoted service, 14 April 1978 to 30 April 1998. Over to you.
How y'all doing out there tonight? For my next song, I would like to sing, okay, I thought this was karaoke. I just want to thank everybody for coming today. Really is a special day in my life today. I'd like to thank my brother Bill, who's recently retired from the Navy, for coming down, and my nephew Josh, who's went over to the other side, went to the Army. I want to thank my aunt and uncle for coming down from Edison. My mom passed away in July. She couldn't be here with me. But looking at my aunt, I can see my mom. So that helps me out a lot. I want to thank my family for coming down from New York. And man, all my good friends for coming through. One of the things they was bugging me about at work is who's going to be sitting where? I don't care. Well, who's going to be at the head table? I said, well, if I put this person here, I'm going to have to put this person here, put this person here. I says, we're just going to have to set up one table and everybody's going to sit there. So, they didn't go for that. I knew people coming from all over the place. Flew in here pretty quick, and boy, they're all tired. I got a lot of retired friends that have come to show up for me today, and the rest of you that just wish you were retired. I just want to start out and say that, yeah, I was a maintenance man for all these years. I made my rounds here and there, but I'm still a wrench turner. Yesterday I had the honor of going to Sergeant Lane Quick's luncheon, and sitting down there, all I had to do was sit and eat, and I'm shaking like a leaf, and I figured that was going to judge what I was going to be like today, and there's the leaf. Over the years, there have been several people that have touched my life, some harder than others. Can you hear this back there, Pat? One person that was really supportive, for example, take my wife, please. Actually, she was my main supporter over all these years, kept me going and stuff. Made me study when I didn't want to. Or sometimes I tricked her and told her I was studying when I wasn't. But she's telling me nowadays that I procrastinate a lot, and I tell her, get out of town. And she says, no, seriously, we need to talk about this procrastination. I says, let's talk about it tomorrow. I had a good time here. Didn't go anywhere, but you know, a few little team wise here and there. Made it over to England. That was very nice. But basically, I stayed around here and watched people come and go, and come back again. Met a lot of good people here and stuff, and made a lot of new family members and stuff. I think the biggest thing that I miss is just having this family-oriented crowd around me and stuff. I mean, everybody is in the same boat here, and that's one of the things I'm really going to miss out there is just having another close-knit family. Like I said, I just want to thank you all for coming, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Invited guests, please be seated as we begin the formal portion of today's retirement ceremony. Welcome to this afternoon's retirement ceremony for Tech Sergeant Edwin R. Plants, 305th Logistics Support Squadron. Our presiding official this afternoon is Major Roger P. Ossif, Commander of 305th Maintenance Squadron. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party and the posting of the colors. Honor Guard, post the colors. Attention to orders. Special orders number AC 011997 reads, effective 30 April 1998, you are relieved from active duty, 305th Logistics Support Squadron, McGuire Air Force Base, New Jersey. Effective 1 May 1998, for Air Force Instruction 36-3203 in the grade of Tech Sergeant. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Plans with his official retirement certificate, highlighting 20 years of service in the United States Air Force, which states, to all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that Technical Sergeant Edwin R. Plants, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of May, 1998. Signed, Michael E. Ryan, General, United States Air Force, Chief of Staff, and Craig P. Rasmussen, Brigadier General, United States Air Force, Commander, 305th Air Mobility Wing. We'll also be forwarding to Technical Sergeant Plants a certificate of appreciation for services in the Armed Forces of the United States from the President of the United States, which reads, I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of our nation for your honorable service. You helped to maintain the security of the United States of America with a devotion to duty that is in keeping with the proud tradition of our armed forces. I honor your service and respect the commitment and loyalty you displayed over the years. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Bill Clinton, Commander-in-Chief. Major Austin will now present Tech Sergeant Plants. Congratulations on the occasion of your retirement. As you enter into civilian life, you can hold your head up high and be proud of your noble service to the 305th Air Mobility Wing, the Air Force, and your country. Your dedication to duty ensured America retained its rightful place as a preeminent international leader. Your inspired efforts spread the principles of democracy and individual rights to every corner of the globe. The world is a better place, thanks to you. Please accept my heartfelt appreciation for your 20 years of devoted service to our country. I salute you. Her husband. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Helen J. Plants for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Signed, Michael E. Ryan, General, United States Air Force, Chief of Staff, and Craig P. Rasmussen, General, United States Air Force, Commander, 305th Air Mobility Wing. Included in this folder is a congratulatory letter to Mrs. Plants from General Rasmussen, which reads, Dear Mrs. Plants, congratulations to you on your husband's retirement. The long list of your husband's accomplishments is worthy of praise from the highest organizational levels. I know your own accomplishments and sacrifices equal or better his. Throughout many years of dedicated service, you have helped to provide a stable home environment which allowed him to excel. Countless temporary duty assignments had not daunted your courage. You successfully persevered during critical times when international conflict called your husband away. You're a true patriot. Please allow me to extend my sincere appreciation for your tremendous efforts and selfless devotion to your spouse and country. Best wishes as you open an exciting new chapter of your life. Ms. Plants, at this time, the men and women of the Logistics Support Squadron would like to present you with these flowers as a token of our appreciation for all of your hard work and support.
Please sit down. You gotta be nervous enough. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. This is really an important occasion, and I'm honored that Ed asked me to officiate. You know, as commanders, we do this often, but every time that we do one of these, it strikes home about we're losing one of our own that's going to retire. It's not the end of the life or the end of the world, but you know, the Air Force is losing a good person and a good wife as well in Helen. I'd like to thank the family members for being here. 20 years, when you think back, it's a flick in time. I know it feels that way when you think back. Those 9 months, there was a lot of things that happened. And I could always, coming into a new wing, first squadron, a lot of nervous anticipation about what's going to be expected of you in the squadron. I was immediately set at ease because of people like Ed. There was never a time when I ever asked him to do anything or follow up on anything that wasn't done. And that's continued even as I've moved to a different squadron. So, I was going to lighten this thing up a little bit. It's a little bit too solemn of an occasion here, I think. But I forgot to bring this picture up here. That was one thing I was going to use to start this off with. Now, is that a cheesy grin or what? It's a cheesy grin, but it's a friendly one, and that's how I remember you. Friendly person, and we could tell by your remarks just a little bit ago how much of a people person you are. And I know the people in the office are really going to miss that. It's hard to top what's already been said. I can't possibly top the words that you said. But I just leave it with this. You know, when we think about 20 years, when we think about the American flag and the dedication to your country for 20 years, it's an honor for us to have been able to serve with you for those 20 years. And it makes me awe a little bit when I think about what we ask of our people and what they continue to do for us without question. And give me 20 years of your life, and the things that demand of you, not only from yourself, but from your family members, is an awful lot. I think sometimes we don't recognize just how much of giving that we ask. But so I'm glad that the family could be here, so that we could all be here and recognize and feel great about those 20 years that you gave us. My parting comment, I'd just like to break the tradition a little bit. I'd like to salute you. So you could come over here, please. This is the best way I can think of to honor your service to the country and the Air Force. So. You need one more turn at the mic. You can stand it.
Everybody says it's going to go fast, it's going to go fast. Well, it only goes fast once you've gotten there. When you're going, and I'm telling you, you're dragging your butt that whole time. But it was worth it. Had a really good time. I had a lot of people here that took care of me through the years and helped me get through this and that and the other. And I learned from a lot of yous out there, and took a little piece of each of you, and that's what made me be the person I am today. And I just want to thank you all again for coming and sharing this moment with us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'd like to perform the symbolic flag folding ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a special flag ceremony for Tech Sergeant Edwin Clance. The flag folding ceremony represents the same religious principles on which our country was originally founded. The portions of the flag denoting honor is the canton of blue containing the stars, representing the states in which our veterans served in uniform. The canton field blue addresses from left to right and is inverted only when draped as a pall on a casket of a veteran who has served our country honorably in uniform. In the Armed Forces of the United States, at the ceremony retreat, the flag is lowered, folded in a triangle, and kept under watch throughout the night, as a tribute to our nation's honored dead. The next morning, it's brought out And at the ceremony of reveille, run aloft is a symbol of our belief in the resurrection of the body. The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in the eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veteran departing our ranks who gave a portion of their life for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature, for as American citizens trusting in God, it is in Him we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country, for in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where our hearts lie. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all of our enemies, whether they be found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day, and to honor Mother, for whom it flies on Mother's Day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood, for it has been through their faith, love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of the men and women who have made this country great has been molded. The tenth fold is a tribute to Father, for He too has given His sons and daughters for the defense of our country, since he or she was first born. The 11th fold, in the eyes of a Hebrew citizen, represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in their eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold, in the eyes of the Christian citizen, represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies in their eyes God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. When the flag is completely folded, the stars are uppermost, reminding us of our national motto, "In God We Trust." After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of Captain John Paul Jones, who are followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving the rights, privileges, and freedoms we enjoy today.
On behalf of the President of the United States and the United States Air Force, I'd like to present you this flag in remembrance of your faithful and dedicated service.
Retirement party, and our distinguished guests.
At Cherokee High School, and it's not the last, I'm sure. It will be offered next year to individuals who audition for it on a level 2 basis, and I think we're the first school in the district that's had this organization, and I'm very pleased with their progress. They're going to be opening the program for you tonight. Hope you enjoy it.